Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 2. Last time we had a look at Aldia's Keep, and this time we will have a look at whatever is on top of this big stone pillar up here. And the following area consists out of two areas, and no matter how long or how short this video will be today, I will divide these two areas into two episodes because frankly I don't have that much time right now. But I'm pretty sure that it will still take like 50 minutes or so, or even longer, who knows. So, at the end of Aldia's Keep, first of all we have an item here. Dragon Scale, okay. Also already foreshadowing what we will encounter. And for some reason we have one of these again. Always strange. But do you remember what we did at the beginning of the last episode? When we stood in front of Aldia's Keep, we looked up into the sky and looked if we can see something, and we didn't see anything. So let's see what's there today, because there's more than nothing. Otherwise, why would we go up here? And let's have a look how the view changes here. And let's also keep in mind where Aldia's Keep is located. This is why I'm turning into this direction now. We're seemingly in the stone now. Occasionally there are some holes in the stone so that we can see outside. Oh, no. No more. And we're now somewhere in a building. And it's quite loud outside. And let's keep in mind Aldia's Keep is in this direction. There's Aldia's Keep, so let's see where we're going. We're going further away from Aldia's Keep right now. And we're in the dragon area. Look how much drakes there are. This is definitely one of the best looking areas in the entire game. At least from the how do I call it? Outside of the player area looks. Because you can't tell me that this doesn't look amazing. And it kind of reminds me also of Elden Ring's, what's it called, Farum Azula. This definitely had, they definitely took something like this as a reference. You can't tell me otherwise. And now we are basically at the peaks of these stones, and all of a sudden these stones are much closer together, forming one area. Which we didn't see before. But imagine how stupid that would have looked. Like from Aldia's Keep. If these stones had the... First of all, they need to be bigger. At least that's what I think. Like the base needs to be bigger to support this area. And also they need to be much closer together. And then we can see the next area that I will have a look at the next video. But let's have a look down here before we talk to her. Let's see how this is supposed to look from down there. Yeah, these are much closer together. And I think we can see the landmass over there. Like from where we started. We had this landmass, and then further in this direction there was a cliff going down, and I think this is supposed to be part of the landmass, this green mud over there. But yeah, nothing we've seen before, and even the peaks look different, and we definitely didn't see that castle over there. There wasn't even a stone there from Aldia's Keep. We didn't even see these these pillars here. But oh well. Is it just me, or does she look small, or is she smaller every time we meet her here?
Bearer of the curse.
And she also sounds different.
Long have I awaited one such as you. One who might shatter the shackles of fate. One who can set me free. Bearer of the curse. It was my own manifestation that led you here. The ancient dragon has watched over the world for eons past. Take this. Do not resist. The dragon welcomes you.
Alright. So, she isn't real, or what? What does she mean by that? Her own manifestation? Like, is she like a ghost? I'm not going to attack her, but still kind of strange. So let's continue, or let's start going through this level, because from this position it kind of looks complicated. But it isn't really complicated, it's fairly straightforward. They've done a few nice quality of life updates in this version from the previous version. For example, we now have access to this ladder directly. In the normal version of the game, we had to first get here and then kick it down, if I remember correctly. So we had to take this path, because this, let's call it zipline, I think is a one-way. There's a one-way ticket to the other side, and this way you can basically skip this whole area here and get directly to the shrine over there, which is interesting. That you can just skip the whole area. But let's see where this leads to. Yeah, you had to come from over there to gain access to this area previously. I say previously as it was like yesterday or so, but you know what I mean. Let's go down. Bonfire over here. And I guess because there is the bonfire in this cave, I'm going to proceed from here. And I'm probably not going to talk about the world design that much in this episode, just because there isn't really that much man-made structure here that I can criticize and make fun of, because it makes no sense. Maybe I can make fun of this ladder over here, but that would be boring. I actually like this ladder a bit, because it's not one of these wooden ladders, it actually has these support beams on the side, making this much more secure. I would actually climb up this ladder. I'm not going to do that with many other ladders in this game. Specifically the ladders from Gilligan, or whatever his name is. Like the laddersmith dude. No, I wouldn't climb down that ladder, or up his ladders, because they're not secured. But yeah, let's proceed. Kind of weird that it feels like there was once a zip line here, or a bridge. Do the bridges have... Yeah, they also have this gate. And look, this secure structure here. But well, and I guess this is why, for some reason, they made the ladder accessible already. Is because now, by the way, there's an item here. They have a few spots where you can drop down to grab an item, and then you have to feather out, which is interesting. It's a cool mechanic. You just get an item. We just get an item, the aged feather, which is basically a homeward bone. Just a homeward bone that you can use indefinitely. You will not use up this item, similar to the dark sign, for example. Has unlimited charges basically. And they've made this area where you can Like up there you can see this lone stone. You have to use the zip line and drop off at the right moment and land there, grab the item, use a homeward bone or the feather, do the same thing with this item, because you can't escape from these places. I mean, you can jump down into your death, but then you're losing all your souls and you're turning hollow and stuff. Maybe you want that, but most of the time you won't. You don't want that. But I have to talk about these bridges. Just a little bit. I mean, they look nice and all. Maybe some of the ropes make no sense here. For example, this middle rope here, it does nothing. And then it doesn't look like that this rope on the bottom here is actually connected to this pole, but let's ignore that for a second. Would you walk over this bridge? Because I would not do that. Look how many holes there are. Like, it's very easy to just place your foot at the wrong location and then you topple over or something, like your foot is getting caught in one of these gaps, and also you don't have that much stuff to grab on. Like, would be much nicer if there was like some sort of webbing here, like more ropes in a cross formation, like where you can grab onto. I mean, you can grab onto this rope up here, but it's fairly high up, and occasionally on these side ropes. But man, how do you build a bridge like this? Is always what I'm wondering. When you have two sides and build a bridge like these, you need to have access to the other side. Like, you need to have access to both sides, don't you? There are a few ways to get to the other side, and then, but on one side you have to build the bridge and then tie a rope to the other end, I guess. And from there you have to pull up the bridge. Is that how you do it? I guess I need to watch some videos, but I think you need to have access to the other side, which is possible. I guess you can, if the gap isn't that far, you can somehow throw a rope over, or maybe take a ladder, a sturdy ladder, and use it as a bridge or something. Maybe that's possible. But let's get rid of this nuisance here. Why the fuck this one is petrified here makes no sense to me. I don't know. Not a fan, not really a fan of the friggin' branch of your stuff. Because in the previous area in Alia's Keep there were so many petrified statues that you very easily could have ran out of friggin' branches. But no way here. And we also have these idiots here. For seemingly no reason at all. I don't know, this place doesn't feel like a prison to me. Like, this feels just like a spot where drakes or dragons are residing. And these are clearly prisoners. But I guess they wanted to fill this area with some nuisances. We also have a few crystal lizards here, don't care about them. A few items. And one very special mechanic. Which is the egg mechanic. And the egg mechanic is interesting. I think I've read it in the wiki, in the bad wiki, not in the good wiki, because apparently the good wiki has less information in this game. But it has something to do with a specific bridge, with the bridge that connects the dragon Aerie to the dragon shrine. And if you've seen the trailer, you know at some point on this bridge there can be, like, a drake can land on the bridge and destroy it while the player is on it, and the player will fall down. And this event can happen, and it's tied to these eggs. I think there is a 3 egg, 5 egg and 10 egg threshold, where when you destroy, I think, 3 eggs, the dragons in this area become stronger. The dragons that you can fight. At 5 eggs, you have you're on a timer when you're on the bridge, and at 10 destroyed eggs, it's impossible to cross the bridge without dying. I think. Might be wrong there. Maybe there's a threshold at 7 eggs as well. I have no idea. But I didn't know that they become stronger. But for this path, we definitely need to destroy 1 egg. Let's destroy this one here. And it kind of looks like that there is acid inside these eggs. But it's kind of strange. This egg positioning here is very strange, because how do the drakes get in here? Like they look much wider. Maybe they can jam themselves in here, one of these caves. If they tuck in their wings, for example, maybe they can just back up in here. But yeah, we have two paths now. Oh, and here are these guys again. I don't care. I mean, I need to destroy them, otherwise they kill the eggs. I need to kill them because otherwise they destroy the eggs. This way around is, I think, better. But yeah, we have one way up here, which leads to the first big dragon, or drake. Let's say hello, let's wake them up. Hello. Hello. Wakey wakey. On another thought, maybe they don't fit in the hole there. Maybe they don't fit in that cave thing. They look quite big. I kinda underestimated their size. Okay, let's not wake them up. But you have situations like these where there are some items jammed into the eggs. And you also have these guys who can probably destroy the eggs as well. Still don't know why they're here. They kind of feel out of place. From here we might have a better view at the area. But look how everything is designed for you to destroy these eggs. Like, if you want to have access to this crystal lizard, you better smash some eggs. If you're not careful, these prisoners will smash the eggs for you. Like, the game is actively working against you. And this is a interesting situation, I must say. But yeah, where do I go next? Do I go over here, or do I take the path down there? Honestly, I don't know where the path down there leads, I guess. Almost smashed the egg. I guess I'm just going this way now and see where it leads to. Because I think, yeah, they lead to the same area. There should be an invasion here. Fencer Sharon, I think. Yes. Strange character. We know her from the Iron Keep. I don't know if I can fall down here. Trying not to risk it. Can she stop dodging? Oh. Thank you. I think there is a Navlan invasion here as well somewhere. Right, this just leads to a bunch of prisoners that otherwise would have ambushed the player. And as you can see there, all of them are acid, the acid version, of course. Why would there be any other version here? I mean, in the cave we had a few explodey ones, but... And we're back here. So this is just a small little side area for you to get a jump on these prisoners, I guess, and for the invasion. But I think the invasion feels more like a punishment, maybe. Now, let's continue, because there are a few more situations. I guess I have to, now that there isn't that much world world design going on here, because it feels like a mostly untouched area from the in-game human hands, other than these bridges. And I've talked about the nonsensical prisoners here already. I mean, they don't feel like they have ties to the dragons themselves, they just feel like a nuisance. But maybe I'm wrong. Could be wrong, but it's not communicated well then, if I'm wrong. So I have more time to talk about the level design, I guess. Which is fine too, but there's not that much going on here. Like, we have the mechanic where you want to save as many eggs as possible, but the game wants you to get rid of as many eggs as possible, so you're dying at the end. So there's a risk factor involved here. Especially with all the crystal lizards running into taking shelter between the eggs, so to speak, and some items that you have in between the eggs. And this also lets me think that the crystal lizards are either somewhat safe here, because there are not that many people here. Like, they're safe from the poachers, I guess. Like us, we are the poacher, who kill crystal lizards for their materials. And or from other people that wanna, well, or they're tied to the dragons, like they're part of the dragon race. That's what I mean. It's of a priest here, or a priestess. This is the female version. Do I have this one? Do I have both? No, I just have the female version here. The male version you can buy from, what's his name? From the dude that likes to hang out with spiders, I guess. Here we have another sleeping drake. I think they're drakes, right? They don't have, like, they have two pairs of legs, like they have one pair of legs, and their arms are connected to their wings, and I think, like, the wings are the digits. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there a fifth digit? Like, the fifth that evolved into a thumb should be at the connection there. So this is, the wing is basically the hand, the evolved hand. The thumb should be the spike up there. Then this is the, man, what's it called in English? Elbow. That's what it's exactly this, almost the same word. And then, like, lower arm, upper arm and stuff. But they don't have two pair, like, they don't have 6 limbs, so to speak. If I'm correct. Like, this is supposed to be the thumb here. Some dragon anatomy. Ooh, keep sleeping. Are they protecting something? They might be protecting something, I don't know. But here again we have two paths we can take. This path, which should lead to a few eggs that we have to destroy in order to go here. Which is definitely not the path that we want to take. There's also some stuff down here. Is there a cave? No, this looks like a feather area. Like an area where you have to feather out again. I don't want to jump down there. But I don't see... No, I don't see a cave entrance. Let's have a few prisoners here, another sleeping dragon. But let's visit this area from above. Honestly, I don't know how... in this area I really don't know how or what to talk about. I think I've already exhausted every mechanic that there is in this game, or every little... Not in this game, but in this area. I wonder where Navlan is supposed to invade here, because I've read it in the wiki. But so far, no Navlan invasion. I wonder if the prisoner can wake up the dragon here. Let's test it out. No. Not loud enough, I guess. But I don't really want to fight them. This is of course the path that we were before. And we are already at the end of this area. There's Navlan, right. Almost at the end of this area. There are a few other paths. Yeah, we had a look at his spells last episode. I don't know, his robes, have you seen like the hood? Like his hood right now? I've just noticed. If you don't, then feel free to go back. But it kind of looks like he feels like he doesn't belong in this game. It feels like a character from almost from the Matrix or so. It kind of looked like he had these sunglasses on. Kind of silly. Here we can go back. Yee. I wouldn't recommend doing this with your bare hands. To be fair, I wouldn't recommend doing this without any safety harness or something. But definitely not with bare hands, even not with like gloves like these. Like, you're burning through that leather so quick. Don't do it. But yeah, let's go back. Actually, there's another path. There was another path, right? Was there? Shit, I can't remember. No, we could skip. The optional area we already did. There's a bit to explore from here on out still, I think. Because there's... I'm getting lost. No, this is where Fencer Sharon was, right? Right. Never mind, we are at the end of this path already. Right, this is where we came from, this is where we go back, this is where we come back, and this is the bridge. And all of these other areas, yeah, we've been on these already. Yes, that's definitely the end of this area. So, how would I... Is this area good or is it bad? I'm trying to evaluate this area now a bit. Like, would I make things different? I would definitely like to see some more enemies that we haven't seen so far. That would be nice. Like, all of these enemies that are in this area are not new, which is a bit of a downside. I also could have seen this area to be much bigger than it is right now. Because, I mean, it looks amazing, right? It's a good designed, from a world design perspective, like it's a beautiful level. The theme is cool, with all the dragons. But the enemies, like, the level design is also fine, like the layout of the level itself is fine. But the enemies in here are just... they're boring. Like, how many enemies do we have? We have two different variants of the prisoners. Right? The variant that explodes and deletes themselves. And we have the variant that destroys your armor with the acid stuff. What they're doing here, I have no idea, because visually they have no ties to this area. There isn't a prison here. Maybe there is up there. We don't know yet. Spoiler, there is not, I think. Maybe they came from Oldia's keep. Like, maybe Oldia had some prisoners that he wanted to experiment on, and they fled this area up here because they couldn't get out. But in Aldia's Keep we haven't seen any prisoners. So if this is the case, that these are refugees, or that these are survivors from Aldia's experiments, then you probably would have seen some of the prisoners in Aldia's Keep back then. Right? So no clue where they're coming from. Then we have crystal lizards. You can't count them as enemies, I would say. They're technically enemies, but... And then you have a few drakes. How many are there? 3 or 4? I haven't... 3 or 4. Let's see, we have one on the... I'm not counting. No. But... And they're not particularly interesting to fight. Like, we fought already 2 of them in the entire game. One at Heights Tower Flame, and one in the cage. I don't know, I kinda wish that some of these drakes in the air would... Maybe not, maybe that would have been... No, that's too annoying. My thought was, like, maybe they would have, like, occasionally tried to attack the player. That would be, like, that's one of these things that sounds great on paper, but it's totally annoying when you're playing the game. Imagine randomly there was a fireball launched at you, and then the drake would disappear again. That would be bad. Maybe only implement that feature if the player already destroyed like a lot of eggs. Maybe then you can implement that feature. But not before that. Maybe then they can destroy more bridges or more drawbridges, or here these zip lines. Maybe then, but nah, probably not a good idea. Also, these drakes are smaller, right? Than the ones that are sitting here. They look smaller. Because some of them fly very, very close to the player here. They yeah, like this one. Holy shit. It's such a cool design. Holy shit. This one flew through the camera, like in between the camera and the player. They're definitely smaller than the ones on the rocks here. Maybe these are all males and the ones here are females? Like usually in the animal kingdom females are... it depends on the species, I guess, on the animal species, but sometimes the females are bigger. Specifically in the insect kingdom, but these are not insects. I don't know how it's with lizards. I guess they're closest to lizards. But yeah, I would have kinda invented a new enemy for this area. Maybe you can make baby drakes? Would be cruel, but maybe smaller drakes? Or some kind of dragon worshipper of some sort? I mean, we have a similar thing to the dragon worshippers over there, but they behave completely different, and that kind of feels out of place then if you reuse these ones that we see in the next area there. I don't know, maybe invent another enemy type here. Would have been nice. Some kind of weird thing. And make this area bigger. I kinda like the egg mechanic, but I kinda wish that would correspond more to the area itself. Like, it only has ties to the bridge currently, and it passively buffs the dragons apparently. I've never noticed that myself, but okay. Vicky says they're getting stronger. We destroyed 3 eggs, then I guess it's that way. But again, this is one of these areas where there's a lot of potential. This was definitely one of their... like... if you see this area for the first time, it looks amazing, and you're excited to go through this area. When you are finished with this area, like when you reach probably the other spot, and you reflect a bit about this area here, it kind of feels lackluster. It feels like the gameplay feels like a forgettable experience. Maybe not the visuals of this area, but the gameplay definitely. And if you've seen the trailer where they showed this area in its full glory, I think it was it in the intro cutscene as well? I can't remember really, but I don't know. In my mind, for some reason in my mind, I don't know if this is true or not, but it's like maybe a false memory of mine. But when I've watched the trailer or the intro cutscene, I don't know which one it is, where this area is being featured. Probably the trailer. I could be wrong, I'm probably wrong, but maybe they've talked about Dragon Lake when they showed this area, and then I thought that Dragon Lake Castle was this area. And I was so excited, and then it wasn't that area, and I kind of got disappointed. And when you've seen the trailer, no matter what they talked about or not, like, it looked so much better in their trailer, movie trailer or whatnot. Of course, it's a movie trailer, but or a trailer, but still, I was expecting more golden color from this castle, a much bigger castle. This one, spoiler, it's probably a short episode as well, but yeah, sadly again a subpar area. It's a gray area again. Visual wise, I would give it like something along the lines of a 9 or even a 10, because it looks stunning. Maybe not a 10. I don't even know if there is a 10 in this game. But if there isn't, then this would have been definitely one of the better looking areas. Like, well, let's just give it a 10 or a 9. When I look at this game in a vacuum, I can see myself giving the Dragon Aerie a 10. But then gameplay wise, it's nothing special again. It's not bad. Or maybe it is bad, I don't know. Fighting these prisoners, one-shotting them all the time, it's not a big challenge. Like, take out a bow, shoot them once, yay. Not really exhilarating gameplay. And then you have these drakes. If you decide to fight them, you can't even see the whole thing. Like, you're standing at their feet, smashing at their feet, and you can't just... Like, occasionally you see them stomping on the ground. Maybe they fly up and do the carpet bombing, like the fire carpet there. That's it. I don't know. That doesn't feel. It's not really good gameplay. I would say. Like, we have definitely better fights in this game. Definitely better regular fights in this game. And the mechanic with the axe, it's like, okay, I have this shortcut, I have this zip line. If I fall down here and the game resets, I just grab my souls and keep on going, like, Because for some reason, or not for some reason, because I think this is something that many people thought when they first seen the scene where the player walked on this bridge and all of a sudden a drake landed on this bridge. Like, I was thinking, like, you had access to this bridge from the beginning, like here for example, but every time a drake would land on that bridge and you had to do something in this area so that the drake would let you go over the bridge without destroying it over and over again. This was something that I would think, like, you had to do something special here in order to please the drakes or something, right? But instead we have the opposite here. You can just piss them off. You can't please them, you only can piss them off. I don't know. I kinda had more expectations or bigger expectations at this area. But yeah, that's my opinion about this area. What do you think, or what do you think? Kind of weird pronunciation there. What do you think about this area? Do you like it? Visual-wise, probably. Do you like the gameplay in this area? Because I'm not really, like, it feels again like a gray area to me. But let me know your opinion, and I see you in the next one. Goodbye.